First time I saw this, I thought it was fake, so I had to make sure that what I am talking about is definitely legit. I put in Philion Natty or Not just to check out if Charles has been called a fake natty before, and it turns out he hasn't. So what we're going to be going through today is an actual natural person, and by natural I mean of course that this human reincarnation of a god in mortal form is well as natural as it can get. So before we start the breakdown of his moves, I want you to check out this absurd biceps. I've never seen a biceps like that. I can't even flaunt a biceps like that, and this is my job. The first move you need to take note of is this. For normal people, it looks like he's just raising his arm, but you can see his deltoids and his chest are basically fully flexed, which makes sense because those are the muscles that you require to raise your arm, but I've never seen them pop this much in an unflexed state, which is absolutely incredible. Our second absurdly amazing move, just check this out. Most people would think, yeah, he's just moving his neck musculature, but the precision in which he is doing it and the small angles in which he is changing his facial direction are very much impressive. As if that wasn't enough, he just busts out a shuffle, one of the most gracious shuffles I've ever seen. Look at the movement in his legs. His calves are basically not even flexing at all, even though he is moving so smoothly, and it requires a lot of strength to do that. He's basically moving the earth below his feet to make it look like he is the one moving, but in fact he is not. And while this is my favorite move, I am not specialized at all in saying what is happening. I just know that it is impressive as f. So back to things that I understand. The strength it requires to get up on a car is not to be trifled with. This shows that Charlie has immensely strong legs to actually get up there. And I would be careful to come too close to Charlie when he is in the range of kicking, because his legs might just break through your body like my fist through paper mache. And I want to be real with you, though I am a movement specialist, I have no idea what is happening in front of me. This is the most complex foot movement I have seen happen in 0.9 seconds that I've ever seen. It is impossible to say what's happening there, even though I've slowed this down to 1% of its actual speed. And yes, if you've ever wondered, he definitely does have a six-pack, and those pecs are popping. In fact, his six-pack is so strong, his hips are barely moving when he is walking, which amateurs would think is a sign of rigidity, but in fact it is a sign of full control. And I don't even want to get into the control he has over his facial musculature, because we're going to be here all day. And if you've ever done a squat movement, you know how strong your legs need to be to stay this low to the ground for this long and still move your legs around. So this is one of the most impressive moves in the entire video. And I'm pretty sure if I went into detail what he is doing here, I would be breaking the terms of service of YouTube, and this video will probably get taken down. All you need to know is that Charlie holding on to that pole is the only reason why the world is not spinning off his axis and going straight into the sun. Now here Charlie is combining a pulling motion for his upper body with an external rotation and an internal rotation in his hip for his lower body, which takes a lot of coordination and an absurd amount of control to do this pick it up and put it down again movement. And I wonder why he never pursued a career in professional dancing. And there it is, the shirt is off and he's benching 420 pounds without a spotter. The dude is just dancing behind him while Charlie's pushing 420 pounds. Now, how do I know that it's 420 pounds? Because he's barely breaking a sweat. If it was more, he would probably be, at the very least, breathing a little bit harder, but he's not. It is way too easy for him, which is 420 pounds is the cutoff for it looking that easy for Charlie. If you don't believe me, here you can see him operate a multiple ton heavy vehicle with just one hand. No 10 and 2, no nothing. He's not even inside the vehicle. He's outside the vehicle operating it with a single hand, and I dare say telepathically. Bringing us to the one move that is single-handedly responsible for why the Earth is still spinning and why it hasn't stopped a long time ago. Scientists think it is gravity, but I know and you know that it is not. It is Charlie, which in some communities is a synonym for gravity. Which brings us to the only move I think most people might probably be able to do, a move that is colloquially known as sitting. And if we look here, we can't really understand what's happening until we slow it down to 10% of its actual speed, which is when we first notice he is levitating, isn't he? He's basically just flying.
My equilibrium's all thrown off.
And while this video still contains dozens of moves that I would have to break down, I want to leave you with this one. Charlie blowing us all a heart. God bless him, and I hope he is protected by everyone and everything around him. Because if we lose him, you can see the world is gonna go to shit.